So we're talking about home, around a Christmas table when everyone else had gone to sleep with my Aunt Dorothy, who invented this asylum. And we just started talking about home, where that's where we were at, right? Chicago for her at one point in her life. And there's all kinds of home. How fast should I get through this, David? And the first one is kick-ass, the womb. Come on. You can't knock the womb. It's like room service 24/7, this kicking back. But then you get evicted by the landlord. The landlord you thought loved you. Get out of here. I've had it. My back hurts. And then the next home is kind of half womb-like. I mean, you have to go out into the world and learn about the world at school, wherever they make you go, whatever they make you do. But you get to come home and heal your wounds, and your mom or dad makes you soup. That's womb-like, and you get put into bed and told the story. That's nice. But you believe it, you get tired of that. You do. Growth makes it happen, and you take off for college or an apartment with your retarded best friend. It's a mess, and there are beers all over the place, and you're having a great time. Believe it or not, you get tired of that. I don't know why. You seem to get tired of everything. There's no pleasing you people, but... So you actually start to revert into your parents. You want to grow things. Maybe we can invent some children in the laboratory we have. Or maybe we'll raise kumquats or marijuana plants, or I'll build guitars, anything. You and me together, baby. And you do whatever you do for so many years with such dedication, and maybe dedication and loyalty is home, I don't know. And then you realize, the hell with all this, I wanted to live in the country. We're all from the country, you could smell it. The water and country, this is where I'm from. And so you spend your last dime on a place in the country, and you go there every weekend, but you have to get back to your work, your kumquats, your marijuana plants. But when you're back in the city, you dream about that perfect home. Under the pines, there's a hollow mind, and I dream of it. All of the time, there's a little house there, a table, a chair, and a bed that I wouldn't mind sharing, where sweet breezes blow and wild roses grow, where a doofus like me can go when he ain't got much dough. Yeah, the pines in the hollow of mine don't know why God made them, but it seems like He gave them to me. And I'm dreaming of my house in the hollow, standing right out to the house in the hollow. It needs work, that's true, more than I'll ever get to. The door paint is worn, the carpet is torn, needs a go with the broom, need to add on a room. The back stairs are rotten, don't do keeps me dry from the rain. So you know I don't complain. In the hollow of mine, I don't know why God made them, but it seems like He gave them to me. And I'm dreaming of my house in the hollow, going there soon. Sleep 'neath the moon, and I'll never leave there again.
So how y'all doing?
How are you? I don't care about the rest of you. This one's for her.
Wyatt Earp's father said there's blood, then the rest of them are strangers where there's none. No stranger than us. Well, the Lord may give me faith, but you're the only one I trust. Oh, brother, sorry about the blood. Well, it's you and me against the world, fighting side by side. But sometimes the world looks up and we're kicking each other's side with razor sharp words meant to make deep cuts. Well, I never let a stranger say when enough was enough. Oh, brother, sorry about the blood. Oh, brother, Chicago winters. Oh, brother, Nashville rain. Oh, brother, that heat wave in Arkansas. So much pleasure wrapped in so much pain. You know, I don't think I'm crazy, but I sure don't feel safe. Oh, brother. Hey, Dave, let's just play Bright Baby Blue. my mom said she loved all us kids, but she knew that we would leave her, and we did. So she hung on to her man. You know, loyalty is strength, and she was loyal to him. Oh, brother, there is love between her blood and him. So yeah, we went the road. Sure, we beat the band, but for every time we cursed each other, we were blessed by the land. So you're the only one who ever had the guts to know the plane was coming and still stand and take the cut. Oh, brother, I'm not sure if I'm sorry about the blood. Oh, brother, a black mesa desert. Oh, brother, yeah, tripping down the tracks. Oh, brother, you know that tree is a giant dog. I swear it is. But I think it's on our side, so there's no fear of attack. You know, I must be losing it, 'cause it's all coming back. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. You know, the sky slipped into the sun, and the moon said some kind of trap. Let's play these here guitars for the angels take 'em back. Speaking of brothers, here's a film the wonderful Aaron Jungles made about our older brother Joe. My brother Joe, oldest brother. That's the first memory. First one to get a bike, first one to teach us to ride a bike. Got into guitar real early when he was 8 years old. Got the Mel Bay instructional book and did it straight down the line, no futzing around. He always learned it that way as opposed to me and Dave, who never learned to read music.
Joel is my oldest brother, who taught me how to play guitar. Well, that was the biggest thing anyone probably has ever given to me, is the love of playing the guitar. One of my early memories of it was watching him play and seeing actual, and I maybe didn't recognize at the time, but I saw pain, and I saw how beautiful it was coming out of him. And I wanted to do that.
He liked to practice his playing or improv to something else. So we couldn't play, but we would have like one note. We'd go. And to that, he would make up a world.
The first thing he taught me was, and I would do that for 10, 15 minutes, and he would just go. And the places he would go were incredible.
But the first song that I wanted to sing was House of Rising Sun, and he taught it to me. It had real chords, you know. There is a house in New Orleans. But he went from this childhood in Maine, I mean, having great times playing guitar, being in the country, that feeling. But when it came to picking his life, he was ready. You know, to go from that boy to the responsibility of what he wanted to do. And he worked hard and got great. I mean, his fingers got muscle bound at one time where he had to practice a little less so they would have more agility.
Fucker, I'd go to school in the morning, and he'd be sitting on the porch with a metronome. And he was there when I got back. You know, he doesn't remember that, but I do. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't there every second day. I guess all I mean to say is the guy had discipline.
He was able early to get great expression right through his instrument. But you know, you have a feeling in your gut, and then you can put it onto the guitar. You know, you think the feeling, wistfulness, and you know. Whereas you watch someone else play, and they'll be like. And they're close, but they're not the same. You invest yourself in the note. He was able to do that early.
What a beautiful voice he had. He had such a great singing voice. In fact, you know, there's these songs, before he actually started writing songs, he'd play like Paul Simon's Like a Rock, Joel Walsh's Walk This Way. And when I hear them today now, I always kind of go, I like the way Joel sang it better.
I would watch him do Paul Simon songs and such. I liked his versions better.
He was always there. He was a good big brother. You know, I remember when I was getting picked on in school, and Joel would get off early from high school, and after a while he started coming and walking home from school. So this guy would leave me alone, and that was cool. I enjoyed that.
I said, take me to LaBelle Woods. I was too young to drive the bikes with everyone else to LaBelle Woods. I always go to LaBelle Woods. He goes, all right, I'll get that 3-speed, you'll get on the bar like you do, and I'll drive to LaBelle Woods. Well, Saturday morning came and he didn't want to go to LaBelle Woods, especially with a kid on this thing. I was really mad at him. And he goes, look, I'll ride you around the neighborhood. So I got on the bar. And I could feel his chin on the top of my head. And I always... and he liked me chewing gum. I always remember that. One day, getting picked up from Treasure Island where he was bagging groceries, he told my mom about the voices he was hearing that day, and that changed everything.
Boy, do I remember that night. We were picking up, he was bagging groceries at Treasure Island. And I think I'm 12. And it was Christmas Eve, I'm pretty sure. And we were most of the kids were in the kitchen. We were building a gingerbread house, and I forget why I wandered out. I wandered out to the bunch with the Christmas tree, and I saw Bill talking about, and he could barely speak. He was trying to explain. And all I could see is that he seemed lost within his own head, his own eyes. And he looked in such pain. At the time, I just, I didn't think it was huge. I mean, I felt it was huge. I didn't think it was going to be the rest of our lives. And as his voice has progressed, and then of course he went through the stage where he didn't trust us. And thought we were out to get him. For a long time, I just tried to have regular conversations with him. And I would just, when he went off in his tangents and talked to his voices and shouted, I would just sit back. In fact, that's pretty much what I distilled. We just spent a lot of nights telling him that the voices were wrong, that we loved him. And I think it helped. I think it got to him. The constant reassurance. But he still, I think him and Chris had a particular tough time. Because I was the youngest, so he always took a gentleness with me. And the hardest part was watching him think that Chris was trying to take his place as the big brother.
Schizophrenia for a lot of people is misinformation. They usually beat you up about you and everyone else is against you and conspiracy, so that started right off the bat. And we would spend our time trying to convince him that we were behind him, that the voices weren't telling the truth. I remember it as kind of an arc of support, annoyance, and trying to be brothers still, trying to get back to that feeling, which wasn't the easiest thing for me. I think Dave did it better.
It's funny because one might think it's all terrible, but there were some nights where he would talk and he would tell me about what he was going through, and it wasn't all bad. I mean, they made him laugh. He's had a good time with it.
He has a great sense of humor. He doesn't always hear what you're doing, but I'll make him laugh and he'll go, "You're funny, Chris." Then he was gone. So you didn't know. You didn't know if you'd see him again or what was going to become of him. And maybe 8 months later, he showed back up, and he had hitched a hike across the country. Had a lot of stories to tell about that. And he came back very thin, very weak. And I remember I got back from the Milford Theater, and I shook his hand, and it was very limp, and he had a Bible in his hand that he was referencing constantly, looking into it. And so there was that phase.
There would be stretches where he didn't play it. I think a lot of it was the voices saying, "That's not you, this is us playing it. You don't do shit, you are shit. This is what we do. We just let you, hold the guitar, basically." And so he stopped playing for a while. What I said to him was, well, let them think it's them. Don't you enjoy it when they're playing the guitar? If it's them, isn't that enough that you get to be involved? And for a long time, it wasn't.
As he started to really study guitar like he used to, Chet Atkins stuff, classical, flamenco, he's come full circle musically. He's back to the big guys where he belongs with. Not just singing pop songs or folk songs, which are great, but, taking it to that level, the level, the ultimate level of musicianship.
This is my vehicle. This is what I use to help me find what I think and feel about something. And I think that's the same for him. But he took me into his world, and he shared it with me the best he could. So for that, I'm grateful.
I think he had a very nice outlook on what his soul was here for, what he was here for, or what he liked about being here. And he still does. But years and years later, it was then you found yourself trying to remember the kid he was before. All of a sudden you're like, well, that's right, he was this other guy. found a new place to dwell. I found a new place to go. I found a new place to dwell.
See, Elvis didn't think of that. He never called.
Oh, you didn't have any business.
So I've been lucky. I come from a really good place. I'm proud of it. I'm happy on it. And yet, the second I was old enough, I was thinking, okay, I gotta go, and I gotta go find my thing and build my home. And I've had a lot of failure, success. It goes up, it goes down. Through it all, I've been loved. I've loved. And what is love if not failures endured? 2, 3, 4. Chest, head square on my shoulder. I've never been where I'm going. For all I've seen and been something has always been missing. For all I missed, I know that it hasn't been wasted wishes. Stumbling around broken circles. Got a hold on my soul on a road that's forever. Going where I am, ain't gonna walk in. It dances to my songs of living. It finds me where nothing is hidden. Wonders whisper a silly shouts. With every misstep, I'm only more assured. One is more than none. Failures in learn more from being a fool. For every foolish move, wisdom becomes the last precious tool. Taking naps in and between circles. Who would have thought that thinking could be so simple? I'll never be without where I'm going. It dances to my songs of living. It finds me where nothing is hidden. Wonders whisper silly shouts. With every misstep, I'm on a more assured. What is love if not failures and is my friend, and I never reject a friend. It goes around, around, and around again. I said rejection is my friend, and I never reject. It's not nice to neglect. You should always respect a friend. With every misstep, I'm only more assured what is love and now failures in guys with some guitars sorting a few things out. Who wants a Christmas song? Woo! That's what I want to hear. Who wants a Christmas song? Woo! I can hear you.
We got a story to tell these people, don't you? Tell them a story.
What I love about Christmas, it's at least where I came from. It's funny, I must preface that when I went to write a Christmas song, there's a refrain in the song that says Merry Christmas. Oh no, you're elevating the Jewish community and whatever faith. And I just had to get past that because Merry Christmas is very specific to me. I'm agnostic on my best days, you know, so it's got nothing to do with that. It's the moments, it's the time, it's the people I've been around.
It's the brainwashing, right there. Sweet.
Yes, it is. So Christmas was that one time of year. I mean, it was always a good place to be when growing up, but Christmas was that time of year where cousins came by, people I didn't know came by, with actual blood relations. In fact, there was one guy in particular, my Uncle Stan, which was...
No, he did have something against the Jews, unlike you.
he had something against everyone that wasn't him. But he was a deadly combination. He was a bigot, he talked all the time, and he had bad breath. Swirled. And I remember one night, Joel.
Yeah, Joel had that way where he was quiet, he was doing whatever he was doing, but out of nowhere, if you hit the core of his principle, if you the opposite of something he believed in, he took Stanley to task. You know, he was a young kid, and he told Stanley, "What are you doing? No, that's no." And
I think he's more articulate than that. But.
no, he was. I think he was a lot more. But that didn't mean that both of them after that couldn't be in the same room together at Christmas. I mean, everyone is.
Well, everyone. Let me say it this way. With my old friend, Mr. Walken. I know Christmas, good times, love, cherished loved ones. I'm sorry, everyone. Welcome home.
Merry Christmas. Sing it once again. Merry Christmas. Please don't let this feeling end. Hey, Brother Joe, and Nora, it's been a while. Well, Nora, it's been way too long, and Joe, I can't remember the last time you smiled. And when you smile, I wanna sing Merry Christmas. Sing it once again. Merry Christmas. Please don't let this feeling. Well, Uncle Stan, it's quite right. You can say anything that you want tonight. Express your views, kick off your shoes. You can't say nothing wrong. No. You're right where you belong tonight. But everyone is welcome home. So let the drunkards drink and set the floozies free. Let the lies tell the tale. Let everyone pretend to be that they're the people they'd always hoped they'd be. Yes, we're all right where we belong tonight. Everyone is welcome home. We'll get together and sing Merry Christmas. Sing it once again. Merry Christmas. Please don't let this feeling end. Everyone is welcome home.